Congratulations on your selection. Your first Paralympics. How does that feel?
Yeah, thank you very much. It's a great relief, to be honest. It's been a very long road, and if it wasn't long enough, we added an extra year onto it due to a global pandemic. So yeah, but we're so pleased to be finally in this situation and in this environment and that kind of whole that games feeling is coming, that excitement is building, and yeah, to be hopefully over in Tokyo soon, really.
How has that extra year affected you? Have you managed to use it to your benefit?
Yeah, very much so. Obviously, like anything else, when we first heard the announcement of the delay, it was disappointing. I was in really good shape last year, the back end of it, coming into the Paralympic year, coming away a three-time world champion from the recent world champ events. So confidence was high, and then to kind of think about how I'm going to find that form again 1 year on was quite daunting. But I think luckily with my military background, it was just a change of mind. It was just a mind state really that I needed to do to kind of look back on and go, right, we've got a little bit more than a year to go now. What can we do to then possibly be even better? And it has actually allowed and given us time to look into a number of other factors that we didn't have time or didn't look into the first time, for the original game. So yeah, I think it's actually in terms of almost so beneficial for me in that sense, the slight delay.
And you're obviously going in with 5 events at your first Paralympics. That's a massive challenge. How do you balance the different commitments and how do you prepare for those different events?
Yeah, I mean, it's first Paralympics, 5 events to partake in. I just thought I'd go all out, So yeah, no, there's no way I can actually prepare for all 5 events equally. So in that sense, I'm preparing for 2 events, or I'm targeting 2 events, and I'm touching. And luckily, by preparing extremely well for those events, I do touch on some of the other training that I require for the other 3 events in the meantime. And by also touching on or doing a tiny bit more of the other 3 events, they help, they complement, the other 2 events, the individual pursuit and the road race, which I'm targeting. So that's kind of, we had a good sit down with my coach and say, right, how are we going to do this? And we came up with a really good plan, and we've been following it and feeling in good shape.
Are you able to targets in terms of medals and what you hope to achieve?
Can you just say that again? Sorry, you broke up.
Sorry, are you able to quantify your targets in terms of medals and what you want to achieve with that regard?
Yeah, I mean, I think, I'm not gonna. The aim and the goal was always to get to the Paralympics, and now that we've done that, you cannot go to the Paralympics without a medal goal. And I'm definitely focusing on the individual pursuit on the track. So I'm very confident that I'll come away with a gold in that event, to then come away with a potential bronze or silver in either the kilometer, the 1K time trial, and the team sprint. On the road side, the time trial is probably the event I'm least targeting at this moment. So I might just get lucky on the day there, and I'm definitely searching for a medal in the road race. So yeah, so 3 events or 3 medals that I'm very confident in coming back with, but especially keeping my eye on the individual pursuits.
You touched on your military background a little bit earlier. I was reading that you described the selection process for the Parachute Regiment as hell. How, particularly from a mental perspective, how much can you take from your military background and your experiences and transfer that into elite sport?
Yeah, I mean, my military background and the mindset and everything that I've been taught and coming from my military career has been hugely beneficial for my professional sporting career. Again, like I say, the ability to adapt to circumstances very quickly. It's very similar in the military. You don't every time we've deployed on a mission, on an operation, you sit in a briefing. You know what it looks like. You know what door you're coming into. and you land on a helicopter, you run out, and there's a different building. In the last time they've taken that photo, something's changed, and you have to compromise, and you have to kind of think on your feet, and you have to kind of go with with the situation. And it's a lot similar, within professional sport as well. It doesn't always work out in the same way you plan or you want to be, but you have to be flexible and adaptable, and learn from those experiences as well. I see every bike race the similar as a mission, as an operation. You train for it, you prepare for a mission, you execute it, and then you come back and you uh, you visualize what's happened, what's been good, what's been bad. And it's the same in bike racing. You train and you prepare extremely well for that bike race. You execute it, you race, you either win or you lose, or whatever it might be. And you look back afterwards, what can I have done better, or what other forms of training do I need to do? So yeah, it's been really beneficial for me in that sense. And that's how I've been approaching this whole last couple of months.
Overall, you've been a remarkable journey since you left South Africa. Given we've reached a milestone moment today or tomorrow with the announcement, is it easy for you now to sort of sit back and look at where you've come from and try and process all the things you have achieved in your life?
Again, sorry, can you just ask that question again?
Yeah, okay.
It's just the first bit every time cuts out.
Yeah, sorry. I was saying it's been a remarkable journey for you since you left South Africa. You're at a milestone moment now in your career with this announcement for the Paralympics. Is it a good time to sort of sit down and look back at where you've come from and what you've achieved? And is it possible to sort of process that, because there has been so much that has gone on in your life?
It's a good question. It's a great question, actually, to sit down and process it. I mean, this has been a goal for me for a very long time. I mean, I've been inspired by the Olympic and Paralympic Games that we hosted in London. I lived in London at the time. I was actually going through my resettlement through leaving the army at that same time. And obviously all these questions in my head of where do I go? What do I do? What job will I have after leaving the army? To then go to the Paralympics and the Olympics, watching these athletes perform to this incredible level and seeing how the public reacted to it, it kind of planted that seed, and that's where it kind of started to go. And I wanted to be part of that. So that's where my journey started. That's more than 8 years ago now. And finally, I'm sitting here to call myself a Paralympian and going to Tokyo and represent Great Britain once more. And again, wearing that flag as I did, within the military as well. So yeah, it's a great achievement. I'm very proud of myself. It's been a hard journey. But yeah, like you say, reflecting back on it, it will be most likely, I hope, only one of many amazing moments in my life. But this one is definitely up there.
You mentioned inspirational or inspiring there. I mean, Britain has been very successful in cycling at previous games. And the squad that you're in has got a lot of very sort of well-decorated Paralympians. I'm thinking Sarah Story in particular. How inspiring is it for you to be in a squad alongside Britain's greatest paracyclist, arguably Britain's greatest Paralympian in Sarah?
Yeah, I mean, it's like you've just mentioned Sarah Story, which is a phenomenal athlete. She does bring a great deal of experience to the team, which we all kind of feed off. Jody Cundy, he's going for his 7th Paralympics. Transferring from swimming into cycling. Again, Jody is a veteran here. And again, I really feed off him from his knowledge and his ability to kind of he's been there and done that and seen it all. So yeah, there's Steve Baden, Adam Duggleby. This will be their second one. There's actually quite a lot of depth in this team. I think it's almost a down the line 50-50 split between people that has had one or more games before, so obviously going to the second or much more. And then there's quite a big group, myself, Ben, Finn, and to name but a few others. That's our very first Paralympics. So it is amazing to kind of, like you say, to kind of be amongst these guys and see how they operate and how they deal with certain scenarios and environments and stuff like that. So it does help, and well, especially me, it calms me down as well, seeing that it's just another racing day, obviously just on a world scale, but no, it is amazing to be amongst these legends to a degree. Yeah.
You touched upon it there a little bit, but have you sought advice from the likes of Jody and Sarah?
Yeah, obviously, especially Jody. I ride and race against him a lot. We're in the team sprint together. So yes, a great deal, especially on that front. Jody's been riding the team sprint for many years and successful Paralympic champion, world champion multiple times over. So yes, I'm really drawing on his experience on that special event as well. Where to be, what line, where to put power out, just reading situations. So he's been phenomenal help in that specific area.
And just one final question. You've obviously got a lot on your mind at the moment with Tokyo, but looking beyond Tokyo, what future challenges do you maybe have planned, and what else do you want to achieve in your career and in your life?
You know what? It's a question I've been asked quite a bit, and to be honest, I'm not 100% sure. There's definitely more challenges in there. There's definitely some more adventures. I love climbing. I love riding my bike. I love taking on challenges in general. So there's a few in the pipeline. I can't really kind of mention anything specifically now, but there's a few we've got in our head. So we'll be planning and a bit more focus on them. And then also just enjoying life as well. Afterwards, this is a very taxing time. It's very consuming in every sense possible as well, and especially now, even more so than ever before. We're trying to stay healthy, so actually limiting my exposure to coronavirus is even more so than ever before. So even just thinking about going out for a coffee with a friend is actually something I have to process and go, actually probably not so close to the games. So coming back and actually just enjoying that freedom with friends and family and with my wife. So and we've actually got a wedding to look forward to as well in South Africa. So that's probably one of the next one around the corner from Tokyo.
Congratulations. Have you set a date for that?
Well, we have a date for February next year. So yes, hopefully the world will be in a better place by then.